An age-old rivalry reignites for the oldest piece of silverware that is up for grabs. Sydney United 58 and the Marconi Stallions clash for the 2019 TAFE New South Wales Waratah Cup here at Lily Holmes Stadium. They met just a fortnight ago in the NPL New South Wales in a game that was light on goals but provided plenty of drama. The noisy neighbours tend to always deliver when they get together on the big stage. My name is Adam Santarossa. I'll be your commentator this afternoon, and joining me in commentary is Tony Tanous. Tony, welcome. You have the lineups.
Yes, looking forward to this one, Adam. For Marconi Stallions, Nenad Vekic in goal, a back four of Yanni Nicolau, Nathan Milgate, Roberto Esperanza and Giorgio Esperanza. The midfield three, Liam Yulee, Connor Evans and Brandon Vella, and a front three of James Andrew, Marko Jesic and Marty Fernandez. The bench for Marconi, Christian Sekatkovsky, Peter Pelikanos, Sean O'Connell, Richie Cardozo and Damien Tsakenis. As for Sydney United, Miro Vlastelica names the following lineup: Tom Manos in goals, a back four of Yanni Perkatis, Yanni Frajogianis, Adrian Vlastelica and Matthew Bilic, a midfield three of Anthony Tomilic, Glenn Trefiro and Liam Rose, and a front three of Patrick Antelmi, Peter Simonovsky and Matt Sim. The bench for Sydney United 58, Daniel Sadaka, Peter Markovic, Tariq Mayer, Luke Vlastelica and Josh McDonald.
And the officials this afternoon, Katie Patterson, you see there with the two captains going through the final procedures before we get this one underway, the coin toss. But what a sight it is here at Lily Holmes Stadium. We knew the crowd would come, given it is such a blockbuster rivalry here on this cup occasion. Just adds to that rivalry. What are you expecting today?
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be a feisty contest. We've seen already the two games between these two sides this year. A great history, that local rivalry. Only a couple of kilometres separating their stadiums out in the Fairfield area. They're here at Lily Stadium. It's going to be an absolute epic, I think. Expecting a very tight contest. Really looking forward to this, Adam.
Yeah, Sydney United 58 have a chance to draw level with Hakoah with 7 cup wins. They have 6 going into this one. Marconi just the 1 victory in 2010. Hoping to add another piece of silverware to the cabinet. And it would be that much nicer against their big rivals, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. The rivalry between these two, I think Sydney United have certainly struggled in the last couple of years since Marconi have been back up in the top flight. They haven't beaten Marconi in the last 2 seasons, so certainly heading in, I think Marconi have been the team that's been in the better form, so probably heading to this as slight favourites.
All set to go. Big crowd in. I'm sure there's plenty watching at home as well. Strap yourselves in for this. 90 minutes. And if we're level, extra time and penalties underway in the TAFE New South Wales 2019 Waratah Cup final. The first piece of silverware for 2019 up for grabs. Adam Santarossa and Tony Tanous here with you. You're expecting some fireworks this afternoon. Hopefully plenty of goals as well. I mentioned that game a fortnight ago at Adensa Park. Finished 0-0. Marconi with 10 as Jesic gets an important touch. Here's Vlastelica. There'll be some nerves around. It is a big occasion.
Yeah, certainly is. I think Marconi haven't been to a big final. As we said, they had that dip. They went down to NPL 2 and they're back up and looking to punch with the big boys again.
Simonovsky putting himself to work early. He did score the winner in that semi-final to book their place here in the Waratah Cup. That 3-2 win over St George at the Sydney United Sports Centre. Lucky to call that game. It was an absolute epic. 2 minutes before the end, Simonovsky popped up to book their place in the final. He'll hoping for more goals today. United have it. So they look to build up. Pakatis likes to run forward, just settles it. Back to Liam Rose. Now Vlastelica. It's United doing the early pressing. As I say that, Bilic, perhaps a sign of those early nerves we spoke about.
Yeah, I think both teams, given the rivalry, obviously, earlier in the season, Marconi did put Sydney United to the sword at Marconi Stadium back in round 6. So there's that history. They've talked about that in the build-up. Marko Jesic in particular has been vocal in the build-up to this game, saying that that's in Sydney United's head. So great psychology around this game.
Here's a chance for Marconi to break. James Andrew doesn't have a heap of support in the middle, trying to pick them out. United have enough defenders to deal with it for now, but one of the fastest players in the game, you don't want to give him opportunities. James Andrew, been in goal-scoring form as of late as well. Here's Marko Jesic. Combines well with Andrew. Of course, no Mitchell Malia today for Marconi, their leading scorer this season. He was sent off in that game against Sydney United a fortnight ago. He's serving his suspension and has to miss the big day. It's Trefiro. Nice touch, finds Temelic. Nice vision shown, but too much on that for Bilic to recover.
And I think that battle down the right-hand side for Marconi, we mentioned James Andrew, the form that he's been in. He's got a terrific record in the Cups. We've seen him here, in fact, at Lilies against the West Sydney Wanderers a couple of years ago, scoring a brace in a FFA Cup quarter-final. He's been in the goal-scoring form, as you say. His express work down the right-hand side has been a real feature in the last month and a half for Marconi. So that battle against the experienced Bilic is certainly going to be one to watch.
Here's that man we spoke of. Links well with Sim. Can Sim provide the service? Comes together with Milgate. Perhaps an early chance for United, an early test for Nenad Vekic in goal. And Tassie passes.
You can see Bilic already trying to get forward and make James Andrew work the other way, so that's a real battle. And we'll keep an eye out on Giorgio Speranza on the opposite side, who likes to get forward from left back as well. We saw that in the semi-final of the Waratah Cup against Manly United.
And Manus goes long. Milgate wins virtually everything he competes for in the air. One of the best in that aspect in the competition. Sim wins it back for United. Trefiro, they look like they've settled well, United. Passes sticking early. Marconi, not so much in the opening few moments here at Lily-Holme Stadium. It's Fernandez. Fouled in the build-up. Katie Patterson will give a free kick to Marconi.
Yeah, good feet there from the youngster, Marty Fernandez. He's shaped up on the left side of the attack for Marconi.
Yuli takes it well. Picks out Andrew. Not dealt with by Bilic. Vlastelica will have to get across and tidy up, but already we've seen signs that they're trying to expose Bilic down that flank and that pace of Andrew.
Yeah, certainly a big tactic for Peter Tsakenis in recent weeks. As we said, James Andrew probably started the season a little bit slow by his standards, but in the last few games really starting to get going. Was so influential in that round 7 FFA Cup game against Sydney Olympic, scoring the opening goal, creating the second by winning a free kick, his speed, and then he came off the bench in that game against Manly in the Waratah Cup semi-final and absolutely exploded that game. Very dangerous player.
As I said in the opener, if we don't get a goal in the 90 minutes, it is extra time and penalties, so could be in for a long afternoon. Certainly an exciting one when the Cups are on the line. Bilic again loses the battle to Andrew. Has Jesic in support through the middle. Here's Villa for Marconi. Overlapping well. Support through the middle. Fernandez almost came to him. Pakatis with an important header. Always KG Affairs Cup finals, but this seems to be a bit open early.
Yeah, Marconi certainly targeting that right-hand side. Yanni Nicolau getting forward as well, trying to overlap around James Andrew. They've been a bit more conservative down this left-hand side. It's clearly feeling that they can get something against Sydney United down that side.
Jesic goes with the long throw, trying to aim for Milgate. Manus comes and claims before James Andrew could get involved. Such a threat in the air, Nathan Milgate. Does have to scamper back here because Antelmi has done well to get in behind. Here's Matt Sim though for Sydney United. Trefiro can shoot from this kind of range. Just stays composed to link with Temelic. Now Pakatis, nice vision shown. Bilic is another that can curl one in. Going on his own. Deflected out for a corner.
You can see Patrick Antelmi, he's playing in behind Peter Simonovsky, both goal scorers. So Miro Vlastelica putting two goal scorers in that pointy end of the attack for Sydney United. Involved early there, Antelmi.
So chance at the set piece. It'll be Sim to provide it. Simonovsky wins the header. Get a second bite at it. Pakatis looking to turn. Vlastelica lost his footing at a crucial time. Still there for United. Pakatis. Flag up as Vekic collides with Antelmi, but offside anyway. A little nervy for the clearance there, Marconi.
Yeah, they're on the back foot a little bit. You can see Bilic down the left, even Yanni Perkatis is playing at right back, normally a central holding midfielder. He's filling in with Tomislav Uskok, cup tied for this one, not available.
Oh, it's handed back here for Antelmi. A huge chance early and a huge save from Nenad Vekic.
Yeah, the youngster Liam Yulee, his blusher saved there by the experienced Vekic. Yulee's been in great form, but a bit of an error there.
They're on the counter here. No surprise, it's James Andrew. Dangerous ball in, end-to-end stuff all of a sudden here at Lilleholm Stadium. Springing a surprise at both ends, living dangerously defensively. They didn't pay a price, the Stallions, but probably should have.
Yeah, we saw that in last year's cup final. It was Apia Leichhardt, of course, profiting from a similar error. This time, Nenad Vekic coming up trumps. I think it was Jordan Murray on that occasion. The opening goal. Very fortunate young Liam Yulee there, who's been in outstanding form in that holding midfield role for Marconi.
Well, perhaps fortunately for Sydney United, it surprised Patrick Antelmi as well. And Nenad Vekic, a big save already in the opening 8.5 minutes here at Lilleholm Stadium. Here's Fragoyanis, going to go with the long ball, try to use the pace of Simonovski. Roberto Speranza's there. Can only find Antelmi though. Now Sim links well with Antelmi. Touch let him down, still there. Free kick though given, much to the chagrin of the United fans in that far corner.
Yeah, I think you're right, Adam. The touch let him down and then he went in biting, gave away the foul. Caddy Patterson right on the spot. You see again, Bilic was overlapping down that left-hand side. So this is an intriguing tactical battle early on. Both coaches trying to get their fullbacks high.
You can hear the Sydney United 58 fans finding their voice. Come out in good number to support their side today. As I mentioned earlier, a chance to join Hakoah Sydney City East with 7 Waratah Cups if they can lift it today. They've won their last 5 Waratah Cup finals they've been in. Hoping to continue that trend today against their big rivals. Here's Connor Evans. Driving to the edge of the area, looking for support. United doing a good job closing him down in the end. Sheer weight of numbers wins out. Here's Antelmi. Lovely ball, Simonovski. Vekic has to race off his line. He has to be clean and does a good job again.
Excellent work from the keeper. A couple of early important interventions from Nenad Vekic.
Here's Fernandez. Hardly pause for breath here at Lilleholm Stadium. Opening 10 minutes have delivered. Not a goal as yet, but a fairly open game as Andrew just loses his footing. Fortuitously, Vella's there for Marconi. Bilic hands possession back. Driving forward is Yulee. Can they get the service this time? Andrew's cross dealt with by Vlastelica. Once again, turned over. Connor Evans knows this ground well, of course. Former Blacktown City FC man, as is this man Andrew, getting involved early. Can't find Jesic though. And that's him. We'll just see it clear for now.
You can see Sydney United as they try and get out under pressure early, but they're trying to use Antelmi. He's done well in the early going in terms of holding up the play. That was a lovely ball over the top, wasn't it, for Simonovski, the keeper though, Vekic. Excellent read from him.
And a couple of times that long ball really threatened Marconi defensively. Simonovski does have good pace, as does Antelmi. Not quite dealt with by Vlastelica. He has to give away a throw.
And Jesic is in that number 9 role. A couple of players out for Marconi. We mentioned no Mitch Malia.
They'll go with the long throw this time. Millgate again the target. Flicks it on. Fernandez trying to get on the end of things. Falls to United. Turned over again. Those 50-50 challenges going the way of the Stallions early. Vela cuts it back. It's no one on the scene. Connor Evans will mop up though. Has support coming to Giorgio Speranza looking to get involved. Evans going to go on his own. Just scuffed his shot though. Comfortable save for Manos.
Great to see Connor Evans back in the starting 11 for Marconi. Been a long injury layoff.
Now United can break. Sim. And tell me in behind. Chance for United. Important deflection. Sees it wide.
Yeah, important work there from the experienced Roberto Speranza getting across just to cut out that counter-attack. An excellent transition, and Tilmy's body work early on causing Marconi a few headaches. Certainly looks in the mood today, Patrick Antelmi.
Not for the first time. United have broken quickly. Caught Marconi out. Haven't paid a price to now though. They may hear service from Matt Sim. Evans will see it clear. Now Andrew has the pace, but Liam Rose beats him to it. Showed a fair bit of it to himself.
Yeah, good read there from the youngster playing in that midfield. Today came across to Sydney United, plays A-League Academy experience. He's been relishing getting some game time in the NPL New South Wales this season. Important bit of defensive work there.
Tomelic, and he goes with the long ball. Again, Simonovsky the target. Roberto Speranza links with Giorgio Speranza. Here's Fernandez. Jesic. Giorgio Speranza's continued his run. Jesic just settles things for now. Again, James Andrew in behind. Touch just let him down. He's giving Matthew Bilic nightmares down that flank. Nicolau. Evans. Nice build up from Marconi. Do they have the end product? Jesic. Couldn't get there. Well done by Fragoyanis.
You could see the tactics there of Marconi overloading here down on the near touch line, and then Jesic with a delightful switch trying to isolate Bilic one-on-one. James Andrew getting the support also from Yanni Nicolau. A window into the Marconi game plan.
Here is Roberto Speranza, part of the Marconi side that lifted the Waratah Cup in 2010. His first year in the NPL New South Wales at that point. Fernandez. Picarta's won the header. Can only find the feet of Giorgio Speranza. Connor Evans. Such a settling influence in the middle of the park. Speranza. Delivery cut out easily by United. Now they can break again. And tell me. Pass let him down. Andrew mops it up. Jesic. Chance for Marconi. Flashes wide. Manos. Full stretch, but always going wide. First real sight at goal for Marco Jesic.
Yeah, excellent work. Brandon Vella there just putting the pressure on Patrick Antelmi, turning it over. And Jesic, his movement across that forward line, impressive in the opening 15 minutes.
Press from Marconi pays dividends. Both sides certainly look up for this one. Nicolau can't win the header. Liam Rose comes up with possession. Trefiro. Now Sim. Both he and Trefiro have the silky skills. Sim, what he might have a go from distance. And tell me, nice use of the body. Probably should have just had a shot at goal himself. Unselfishly try to find Matt Sim. Now Marconi's turn to make something happen. Flag stays down. Andrew in behind. Support coming too. Big moment here for Marconi. James Andrew hits the crossbar. Still a chance for Marconi. They just cannot get a grip of him this afternoon. James Andrew has been everywhere this opening 16 minutes.
Yeah, we speak about his recent form and goal-scoring threat. High line there from Sydney United. A lovely pick from Yuli. We saw Antelmi with a half chance at the other end. Marconi coming forward quickly, and both teams showing a lovely counter-attack at the moment. A great opportunity there for James Andrew.
Well, we can't call it subtle in their direction of where they want to go. They've used Andrew numerous times this opening quarter of an hour. And that's what he can do. If he gets behind, he's got pace to just break away, and very nearly made it 1-0. Just the woodwork, the difference.
Of course, he's coming off a brace in the last round of the New South Wales National Premier League. A 3-0 win for Marconi away to the Sutherland Sharks. James Andrew in great recent goal-scoring form. As I said, also such a threat off the bench in that Waratah Cup a week and a half ago, the semi-final against Manly at Hensley. Really changed the game in Marconi's favour when he came off the bench.
Long ball from Fragoyanis, trying to find Antelmi, used the body well. He's into the area. Trying to find Simonovsky, but again it breaks down. And you don't want to look away here at Lily Holmes Stadium. All happening. Matt Sim, he'll keep it in. Can he find a teammate? Trafiro was the target. It's Marconi at one end all of a sudden. Sydney United on the attack themselves. Coming to the boil nicely here at Lily Holmes Stadium.
And tell me, looking at threat in the box and just outside as well, continues to be the go-to man for Sydney United. Seen James Andrew for Marconi, and tell me he's probably been the most involved in attack for Miro Vlastelica's side.
Milgate tidies up for Marconi. Evans has work to do. Touch will work out. Speranza overlapping again. Pakatis on the chase. Numbers in the middle too. Can Speranza provide the service? Pakatis has done expertly well though in getting across. Mayru that missed opportunity. Giorgio Speranza.
Yeah, good work from Pakatis. We mentioned that he's obviously more used to seeing him in the centre of midfield, but playing at right back, showing his adaptability. We saw last year playing a lot in central defence as well. Former West Sydney Wanderers player. Important job, as Giorgio Speranza does love to get forward down the left-hand side for the Stallions.
Trafiro wins an important header. Rose now. Midfielders combine. Sim. Trafiro. As Antelmi goes in his direction. He's got the speed on Milgate. Only really Simonovsky in the middle. Sim now, working well with Antelmi. Been lively early. Can't get the end product though on that cross. We'll go out for a throw in the end.
Probably just a bit wasteful there, but again, good combinations. Starting to get Glenn Trafiro on the ball. Such a key player for Sydney United. Hasn't been quite the 90-minute player this season. Has been used off the bench or part of games, so it's going to be interesting to see how much he can offer in this match. But he is such an important player in that creative role for Sydney United.
Pakatis found Sim with his header. Now Rose. Fragoyanis. Can't find a United player with that ball. I do have to ask a question of United's defensive line, the wing-backs of Pakatis and Bilic. No Christian Gonzalez, no Roberts either, so a little bit makeshift in recent weeks. Already we've seen them exposed a couple of times.
Yeah, Roberts and Gonzalez certainly the two starting fullbacks at the beginning of the season.
Here we see it again. Jesic finds some room out wide. Support coming to the middle. Will Jesic go on his own? Gets to the byline, and he's done well to win a corner.
Excellent work there, Yanni Fragigiannis. We have been seeing him fill in at right back in recent weeks with Roberts out injured. But he's slotted into the centre of defence today with no Tomislav Uskok, and an important tackle from the experienced defender.
So, first defensive duties from the set piece for United this afternoon. And Marconi strike early. Look for Milgate. Makes a run to the far post. Trafiro has it though for United.
Trafiro disappointed there, wanted then Telmi to make the run into the channel so that he had a target, had to hold it up in the end. They've given away a throw.
Jesic to take again. Milgate has gone forward. It's the direction they go. Was he pushed out of it? Katie Patterson right on the scene. She waved those claims away.
We've seen Nathan Milgate in the last couple of seasons, obviously played in the last two Waratah Cup finals, such a big game player, big cups player. Last year for Apia in the FFA Cup, He's been terrific form in recent weeks in the centre of defence.
And tell me fouled by Roberto Speranza. I don't think I've seen Nathan Milgate miss a header this season, to be honest.
Yeah, he's been very good, not only in a defensive sense, but in the cups against Sydney Olympic. Proved such a threat in the air, set up the opening goal, of course, for James Andrew, and then he set up the third goal as well for Marty Fernandez. So he's been ever present at both ends of the ground, and he's such a key player tonight. No Zach Cancross in the centre of defence, so Milgate, key player at both ends.
Well, Milgate will have to do some defensive work for the moment. It's United with a chance at the set piece. Trefiro to take. What can the Reds conjure? Can they find the opening goal? Delivery isn't bad. Finds the feet of Simonovski. Turning. And it will be a corner. So it did come off a Marconi player. Vekic forced to save. A little unsighted too. Both keepers though doing a sterling job so far.
Hasn't seen too much possession in the opening quarter of the game, Peter Simonovski, but we know he's goal-scoring threat. Kind of player who only needs half chances. Such a lethal finisher.
So another chance for United to strike. Exciting stuff. The opening 23 minutes come all the way through, not dealt with. Huge chance here. Rose wins it well. Now Rose shooting. It was Tomelic who helped it on the way. Marconi had enough in front to quell the danger for now. Still scoreless. Not short on excitement though. Now Vela. Fighting, won't give up on it. He'll get the throw too.
He and Connor Evans, key players, not only with that defensive work in the midfield, but they can get forward. Will try and get beyond Jesic from time to time. Brendan Vela certainly has goal scoring ability.
So set piece for the Stallions. For again the runs of Milgate. Fernandez too has the height. It's the direction they go to the far post, but Tom Manis cleans it up well. Both players between the sticks certainly look up for the job today.
Yeah, two of the standout keepers in the competition. Tom Manos, in his fourth year, was featured in the NPL New South Wales social pages this week. A great feature on him, talking about that meteoric rise into the first 11 in 2016. Such a successful season for Sydney United.
Vela cut out well by Matthew Bilic. Hasn't he been busy in this opening half defensively? James Andrew certainly making him accountable. Here's Manis. Thought that one wasn't going to stay in. Trefiro fouled though. A little over-eager Giorgio Speranza.
Marconi running into a bit of a wind in the first. Sorry, Marconi running with the wind. Sydney United into it. You can see with that clearance not quite finding.
Here's Matt Sim driving forward. Trefiro went down in back play. Wanted a free kick. Katie Patterson says no. Trefiro now. Can he provide the product? Sim did well to win it back. Rose now tries to thread the pass through to Trefiro. Breaks down. Now Marconi can break again. No surprise it's James Andrew using his pace. Little rush though. Matthew Bilic did well to be a nuisance and won the free kick in the end.
Yeah, too much angle on that thread there from Marko Jesic. I think James Andrew wanted that one straight in behind. In the end, he had to try and retrieve. Good use of the body from Bilic just to get his body between ball and player. Win the free kick for United.
You are just tuning in. The 2019 TAFE New South Wales Waratah Cup final. It is Marconi 0, Sydney United 58 0. Milgate, powering header. Stallions end up with it. Flag stays down again. Andrew in behind. Not for the first time today. Chance again for Marconi. In fact, it was Marko Jesic springing the trap. Can't beat Manus on this occasion, though.
Sydney United do like to play on the front foot. They do sometimes leave themselves exposed to the counter-attack with that high defensive line. At the moment, Yuli and the likes in midfield getting that opportunity to dink the ball over the top.
Well, that's twice. They've been brought unstuck by Marconi on the break. Pace of both Andrew and Jesic. Certainly alarm bells ringing.
Got to make sure they put some pressure on the deep midfielders, the likes of Yuli, Vela, dropping on those balls. We've got Trafiro and Antelmi. Need to be around them, not give them the time to thread that killer ball.
Of course, no Tomislav Uzkok in this game, cup tied. So not available for selection. I did use Peter Markovic in the semi-final against St George in that role, but slight change today to Melic. Tries to find the run of Antelmi. May sit up for the striker. So he's getting pulled too. There the claims. Comes all the way to United. They have the opening goal. It's the poacher, as always. Peter Simonovsky only needs half a chance, and he buries it home. And Sydney United 58. They go up the other end and make it 1-0.
Yeah, and tell me, proving that physical threat in the box against Marconi there, just holding up the play. And Simonovsky, talk about his ability, hasn't been sighted for much of the opening half. And there he is, you give him half a chance. Simonovsky buries, it's his third of the cup run for Sydney United. And it's been an even game, but Sydney United have opened it up.
Well, Simonovsky, isn't he scoring some important goals in recent weeks for United? He scored that winner to get them here. Now he's handed them the leave when Marconi, they've struck the woodwork. They've had a couple of chances. They probably should have done better. Will they pay the price?
Yeah, those chances, James Andrew, certainly the first 15, 20 minutes was the real go-to. But just in the last 5 or so minutes, they've been able to control that side of the park, Sydney United. And they've taken the early lead. Well, Marconi rue those missed opportunities.
You really got to credit Patrick Antelmi. He's been such a menace every time he's near the ball. Marconi don't look comfortable.
Yeah, certainly Millgate, Speranza, they don't lose out to too many physical battles. Very strong central defenders, but Antelmi's causing them a few headaches in the first half hour.
Well, now it's the Stallions' turn to find a goal. Final 15 minutes before the break. They've had their moments too, but United suddenly have their backs up. Trafiro. Pakatis overlapping. Numbers in the middle. Can he find them? Goes in the direction of Simonovsky. Certainly in a rich vein of form, as I say that. Hands possession over.
Just seen Liam Rose there as Bilic got forward. Excellent work from the midfielder, just dropping into that left-back area just to make sure Marconi can't exploit that. I think that's something that they've adjusted very well in the last 10 minutes or so, Sydney United.
Fernandez is fouled by Pakatis. Long ball taken quickly. Jesic in behind. Not enough space though to reel that one in.
Yeah, that wind. Marconi running with it, picking the ball up there. Too much on that. Haven't conceded too many Marconi on this cup run. They've been very good. They've scored 20. As I mentioned, I think they've been the team coming into this with the better form, certainly in the Cups competitions. Sydney United have been involved in some heavy games.
Connor Evans caught by Liam Rose. He may be the first in the book. Katie Patterson shows him a yellow card. So Liam Rose, first man to see yellow. First real job for Katie Patterson to do. Given the rivalry, hasn't quite been as spicy as we thought. Still plenty of time though.
Yeah, a game with quite a history of red cards, and mentioned Sydney United haven't beaten Marconi in the 2 seasons since Marconi have been back up. There's been 2 red cards in the 4 games earlier in the season, and as we said a few weeks ago, Mitch Malia being sent off. So not far from something lighting up in this game.
Yuli drives it in the direction of Millgate. Wins a good header once again. Comes all the way to Andrew. Was that deflected? No, it wasn't. Just a goal kick. Once again, Millgate. Such a presence at the set piece.
Yeah, always the go-to for Marconi. Towering presence. Really is often about that second ball and where it drops. Sometimes you have to concede that first aerial ball.
Roberto Speranza tangling with Antelmi. Antelmi wins another free kick.
Yeah, doing very well as a buffer for Sydney United. The opening half an hour or so.
Just continuing to frustrate Roberto Speranza. Fragoyanis goes long. Fernandez gave Connor Evans some work to do. Rode the challenge well, but Sim won it back. Fragoyanis again. Again it's Speranza with work to do. Evans, pass is cut out. Pakatis left the stud in. Card coming. It's going to be yellow. Marconi adamant that it deserved more, but Yanni Pakatis certainly got that one wrong. More mistimed though than malicious.
Yeah, Connor Evans has been on the receiving end a couple of times. First Liam Rose. Now Pakatis goes into the book.
Second United player joining Liam Rose, who was our first just a few moments ago. Connor Evans, more importantly, looks to be okay.
Mentioned that battle-hardened run for Sydney United. They had to shake off the Northern Tigers in extra time. Back in round 7 of the FFA Cup. Late winner against St George as well.
Again, James Andrew the target. Vela. Just to pick him out again. Here he has it. Jesic. And Fernandez away in the middle. Drives into the area. Was he bundled off it? Still fighting their way out, United. Yuli. Handball there, though. Right in front of the referee.
Yeah, Trafiro working back very well there for Sydney United. They've really rolled the sleeves up in the last 10 or so minutes. He's got the captain's armband, Glenn Trafiro, and he's taken on the responsibility. Marconi looked on top probably in the early going. Sydney United with Antelmi, Trafiro growing in influence, starting to get a bit more of the control.
Well, I'm sure you're enjoying this wherever you are watching. Thank you for your company on this Sunday afternoon. Of course, we do go worldwide. NPL NSW Facebook page, Football New South Wales YouTube. Good viewing for now if you're a Sydney United 58 fan. There is still a long, long way to go though. Sydney United fans finding their voice for the moment.
It's been a conservative opening half from Giorgio Speranza. We saw him in the semi-final against Manly. He was a real outlet for...
Again, they're in behind. Again, the flag stays down. Jesic has support coming through the middle. Will he go on his own? In the end, was caught in two minds. He did have James Andrew making a run in support. And as the main striker, I think you've just got to go for goal.
He can score a spectacular goal, as we've seen already this season too. Marco Jesic hasn't quite connected on that final touch so far, with some good signs getting him behind.
Once again, it's that long ball unlocking United. They live dangerously defensively. Hasn't caught them out as yet. As players tire, it's going to become more and more of a factor. Millgate, it's the direction he goes. Bilic wins the header well. Trefiro uses the body well. Support coming through Simonovski, but go inboard to Melic. Sim. Ideal time for United to strike just before half time. Sim tried to thread the pass for Bilic, but Marconi got bodies in the way. James Andrew doing some defensive work. Well won by Matthew Bilic. Certainly been kept busy by James Andrew, but free kick relieves the pressure.
Got to be careful, Marconi, not to be too one-dimensional and always go down that right-hand side. Starting to see Giorgio Speranza come forward a little bit more down the left. And that variety will be crucial if they want to get back into this one. Really started on the front foot down that right-hand side, but Bilic just started to get a bit more of a hold on James Andrew. It's a fascinating battle.
Vlastelica over the ball. Undersized a little at the set piece. Sydney United 58. They go in the direction of Matt Sim though. Can he find a teammate in the middle? Not on that occasion, and Roberto Speranza a bit casual in getting it clear, but he did the job in the end. Now Giorgio Speranza. Fernandez with something to chase. Liam Rose. He read it well, and Manos will tidy up once again.
Yeah, he's been very alert in that rest defence scenario as Liam Rose, just making sure that as Marconi try and break, he's working back to support the defence.
Seeing those experienced players, Trefiro, man on the ball here, and Matt Sim starting to have an impact. They've played on some big stages in their careers and won't be fazed with the big day today. Once again, Jesic has sprung clear in the middle, working to the right. Marko Jesic. Important block by Frago Giannis. Still there for Marconi as United scramble to get players back. Delivery from Jesic. Get in each other's way. Vela. Bilic had to be clean there. Still with Marconi. Liam Yulee into the area. Jinking. Wanted to thread the pass instead of going to goal. They've been a little gun shy at times, Marconi. They've been paid out again. Anselmi, support coming. Is that a card on Milgate? Crunching into Simonovski. Yes, it is. Patterson hands the defender the first caution for the Stallions, but we've seen Marconi caught out a few times on the break.
Milgate coming across, having to make that challenge. They got caught in transition there. Giving up the ball was Liam Yulee inside the box. And Sydney United went very quick. Bit of history, of course, between Katie Patterson, Nathan Milgate. She sent him off earlier in the season in a game at Marconi Stadium against Manly United. No choice on that occasion, a clear yellow card foul.
So Nenad Vekic sorting his three-man wall. Trefiro and Sim over it. Do they have a moment of magic on Cup Day? Sim will leave it. Trefiro to take. It was Pakatis' header. Can't force a save though on this occasion.
And Telmi continues to be a handful in those transition moments. Marconi struggling to deal with that. That's something that certainly Peter Tsakenis and his assistant Peter Papoithius will need to address at the halftime break.
Again, it's a long ball, searching for James Andrew, but Vlastelica with a dominant header. Jesic, Fernandez loves to run it. Players, Speranza will get it, deflected, corner. First time we've really seen Speranza in an attacking sense.
Being very conservative, but he is such an important player to Marconi's attack. We've seen that right throughout the season. Player who moved across from Blacktown City, along with his brother and a few others in the off-season.
So Jesic to take. Marconi find their equaliser just before half-time. Millgate the target, back in a dangerous area, off the line. Well, they continue to knock on the door. They haven't got the result as yet. Can Fernandez help them provide it? Liam Rose. See it clear. Not for the first time today. He's been the right man on the scene. To Melic. Roberto Speranza. Strong challenge, but too much for Millgate to reel in.
Yeah, again, we see the threat of Nathan Millgate. Excellent clearance on the line. Bilic it was, helping out his keeper at the back post. Continues to be a real outlet, does Nathan Millgate for the Stallions.
So still, United have the lead. They have ridden their luck, though. Marconi struck the woodwork. Cleared off the line on that occasion. Again, it's Millgate winning a header. Connor Evans goes without, but Nicolau steps up and wins it. James Andrew. Jesic in support. Direction he goes. Jesic a chance. Good work defensively again. Fragoyanis it was. Vlastalica sees it clear.
It's excellent work from Marconi. Just about did everything right there. Jesic went to the near post.
Here's Yuli. Andrew drives into the area. Still going Andrew. Cuts it back in the direction of Fernandez. It's that final product just missing. Makes it here for Jesic. Goes with a header. It's 1-1. Marco Jesic with a moment of magic. They have been knocking on the door. Finally they get their result. And Marco Jesic makes it 1-1.
Yeah, great header there. Everything but the finish. We saw him a moment or so ago go to the near post. Denied by Fra Georgianis. This time there was no denying him. A wonderfully looped header over the outstretched arm of Tom Manos. And in fairness, I think we're probably rightly level here. Both teams been on the front foot, creating many chances. And James Andrews sprung into life in the last couple of minutes. And you see what a threat he is. Jesic with the execution.
Well, it's been a lonely role at times for Marco Jesic this afternoon. Has had some looks on goal, but didn't he take that well? Tom Manos, no chance in goal. And we're level, 1-1. Now it's Marconi surging as we head to the break. We have raced to half-time. We're not there yet, though. Can Andrew? Jesic almost fell for him. Can Marconi find the lead before half-time? Liam Yuli. Was he fouled? Connor Evans tries it. Only find the chest of his teammate Marco Jesic. And they do look a little rattled. Sydney United 58.
Yeah, they were in control 5 or so minutes ago, but Marconi have really upped the ante. And I've got to say, Connor Evans started winning a couple of free kicks in the midfield, and he's been very influential there, along with Liam Yuli, in getting a bit more control in that midfield.
So 2 minutes of time added on. Millgate goes with the long throw. Jesic wins it, but no one in support. Here's Fragoyanis. To Melic. Matthew Bilic. Again, that battle rages between he and Andrew. I think he'd love to just get to the sheds at half-time. Just for some space.
What a contest it's been. A terrific battle on that far side.
He's right back on the attack. Marco Jesic this time. Still fighting. Well, Sydney United, when they scored the opening goal, you could say Marconi were on top. Likewise, the equaliser, Sydney United 58, having the better moments, but it was the Stallions. First time, some real service to Marco Jesic, and he made it pay. It's the strikers paying big dividends here at Lily Home Stadium. Trefiro, it's been end-to-end stuff. Is there another goal before we go to the break? Matt Sim, can he provide it? Works onto the left. Nicolau doesn't want to give away a foul. United fans calling for it right on the spot. I have to say I do agree with them. Connor Evans got lucky. Jesic. Well done from Lastalitsa in cover. Had to make the tackle.
Yeah, had to read that. Good spot. Lovely work from Nicolau on that far side. Connor Evans continuing to grow in influence.
Jesic in behind. Shooting at the first time of asking. Well, there it is. It's certainly been entertaining stuff. The first 45 minutes here at Lilyholme Stadium. The TAFE New South Wales Waratah Cup for 2019. There is plenty to be said at halftime. Both sides will talk it over and come out to try to lift the cup in the 90 minutes. Halftime, Marconi 1, Sydney United 58-1. A break from us. We'll be back to talk it over in just a minute. Yes, hello, well, welcome back to Lily Holmes Stadium for the 2019 TAFE New South Wales Waratah Cup final. Sydney United 58 and Marconi locked at a goal to piece at half-time. Adam Santarossa and Tony Tanous here with you in commentary. And Tony, fairly entertaining stuff, the opening 45.
Yeah, I thought it was fairly even. I think Marconi certainly got the jump on Sydney United. James Andrew was very much the target down the right-hand side. You see Peter Tsakenis has worked on that game plan, trying to exploit Bilic. I think Sydney United started to get a bit of a foothold into the game in that middle period. They got the opening goal, and they started to really get on top in that midfield. Trefiro started to take control, but I think Marconi in that last 5 minutes probably got one against the run of play. Terrific finish, both goals in fact. And I started to see Connor Evans getting a bit more of control in that midfield, and that's a real key area. I think we're in for a thrilling second half.
Yeah, it was a half where Marconi, a few missed opportunities. Sydney United, Peter Simonovsky certainly taking theirs. And Marko Jesic, a brilliant header, made it 1-1 and has set up the stage nicely for this second half. Strong crowd in here at Lily Holmes Stadium this afternoon. Our first piece of silverware for 2019 to be determined. If it does stay level, well, we have extra time and penalties potentially to come. Plenty of drama awaits in the next 45 minutes. Second half underway. Yuli has it for Marconi. They did finish the first half stronger, hoping to take that into the second half. No surprise, James Andrew the target yet again. Bilic straight back to work for him.
Yeah, I thought Andrew started to drift out of it a little bit in that middle period. Bilic started to get on top, but in that last 5 minutes, James Andrew, they started to find him again. He's such a key player, as we've spoken about. Great form in recent weeks.
Jesic goes with a long throw. No surprise, Nathan Milgate there. Dealt with, allowed to bounce in the area. Speranza going to try from range, the defender. Set up here for Vela. Milgate. Touch let him down. Temelic goes toe-to-toe. Speranza won it back well. Put the body on the line. Vela. Jesic has Andrew wide. Good delivery from Jesic. Lastalitsa heads it clear though.
Jesic playing in the number 9 role, but we know he likes to use those wide areas, forage out into those open areas, and we can see his influence on the right side early in this second half. Here he is again.
Vela. Yuli. Into the area he goes. Has support too. On his own, Yuli. Tried to find the runner Fernandez. Perhaps again should have gone for goal. Not for the first time today. Marconi a little hesitant with the goal in view. Here's Trefiro. Bilic certainly started this second half. Both sides playing in an open manner. Matt Sim driving forward. Working to the right. Turning well. And tell me! Off the post. Well, they have come out firing both of these sides. End-to-end stuff. And Patrick Antelmi, not much happening. Very nearly found the lead again for United.
Yeah, a real key player for Miro Vlastelitsa's side in the first period. Was involved in the opening goal for Peter Simonovsky, and you could see him there on the edge of the box. One touch to take it out from his feet. Turning on his favoured left foot there. Player who's scored plenty of goals across these competitions in New South Wales in recent years. Not far at all.
Whatever tightening of defence was made at half-time, it hasn't worked. Both sides straight out on the attack. And Patrick Antelmi is certainly up for this one today. Been very impressive so far for United. Here he is, winning the ball again. Speranza has it for Marconi. 1-1 at the moment. I don't think it's going to stay that way. Here's Fragalianis. Turned over. Yuli on the attack here. Jesic. Oh, Manis. Slow coming off his line. He got there in the end though. Marko Jesic just couldn't get a clean bite at it.
Good read in the end. Yuli starting to grow in influence. Such an important player in that midfield, the youngster.
Now Trefiro. Space in midfield. Both sides a little lax. in their defensive duties. And tell me. Try to find Trefiro. Important touch from Roberto Speranza. Yuli has to be careful not to turn it over. Pakatis. Works well with Rose. All the way back to Tom Manus. Connor Evans. As you said, Tony, starting to have an influence on the game. James Andrew, the most influential in that first 45. Nicolau into the area. Has Jesic ahead of him. Connor Evans. Andrew. Driving at his defender. Getting in behind. Still there for Andrew. Not enough purchase there, though, to trouble Manus. They haven't got him under control, have they?
Still causing problems down the right-hand side. Connor Evans using James Andrew well. It's just that final ball at the moment for Marconi, not quite on song. Like to see a bit more from them, from Giorgio Speranza and also Marty Fernandez down that left-hand side. Just vary it up a little bit, not always go down the right-hand side.
We haven't seen too much of Fernandez as yet. Here's Trefiro. Bilic. This is a good one, but it's all Marconi there. Milgate. There's Nicolau. Turns it back to United. Here is Temelic. Gets past Vela. Nutmegs Yuli. Does want to win it back. Giorgio Speranza being heavily involved. First 5 minutes of the second half. Andrew, nice work between he and Vela. Once again showing his pace. Driving forward. Chance for Marconi! Andrew flashes wide again.
Lovely bit of combination. James Andrew and Brendan Vela through that midfield, and we haven't seen Jesic. In fact, Andrew ducking on his left foot too often, and there he was. Not a bad effort in the end. Lovely work from Marconi. That speed down the right-hand side.
Well, he's causing a few nightmares for that United defence at the moment. Had Manus beaten, but just couldn't hit the target.
Vela and Evans taking turns in combining with James Andrew.
Here's Marko Jesic fighting to find a way past Fragoyanis. In the end, he's forced to concede the throw. It's Marconi in the ascendancy for the moment. Liam Yuli turning well. Still there for Yuli. Bilic sees it clear. Lukatis goes long. Too much on that, though, for Simonovski, who, other than the goal, we haven't really seen too much of Peter Simonovski, and that's, of course, a credit to the Marconi defence.
Yeah, also, the game plan clearly is built around hitting Antelmi in the first instance. Simonovski goes to work generally in the box, and I think it's that buffer, the fact that Antelmi's such a physical presence to hold up the play.
Milgate, he did give the ball away, and he's fouled there from Matthew Bilic. That'll be a card. Third of the day. Bilic had to step up and win possession back. It was Milgate, as I was saying, who gave possession away initially. Did well to win it back. And just mistimed from Bilic. He's the third United player to go in the book.
I think Marconi were hoping for a bit of advantage there, but the referee had a yellow card to pull out. The third to a Sydney United player. Bilic joining Perkatis and also Liam Rose in the book. One player, I believe, booked for Marconi.
So Yuli goes in the direction of Marko Jesic. Manus wanted to come and thought against it. Brandon Vela. Jesic, the goal scorer for Marconi. Nicolau starting to have an impact in an attacking sense. Jesic does well to get behind Sim. Can he provide the service? Oh, they haven't dealt with it. Chance here for Marconi. James Andrew straight at Manus again.
Lovely work there, great tail, lovely work in the initial phase from Marko Jesic. He certainly talked it up in the build-up to this game. And there he was, providing a beautiful ball, and James Andrew probably disappointed to hit that straight at Manos after the confusion in the United defence. Lucky to get away with that one, United.
Yeah, Fragoyanis allowed it to bounce. Rebound fell to the feet of Andrew. A golden chance. Another gone begging for the Stallions.
Certainly in that game a couple of weeks ago in the NPL, Marconi, they were playing with one man, reduced for the second period, but I think in the end they had the greater amount of shots. Shots on target. We're seeing that in the early part of the second half.
Again, Andrew asked to do work, and Matthew Bilic can't contend with it. And he has to concede a corner, so he opens the door slightly again for Marconi.
Running into the wind this second half, Marconi certainly happy to knock it long. That wind holding the ball up and making it difficult for the United defence.
No real surprise who the intended target will be on this set piece. Look for the number 2 in Millgate. That's exactly where he goes. Gets there, the defender. Can't cushion it for a teammate though. Tricky one to contend with for Marconi. Speranza allows it to bounce. Did he foul? And tell me, stepped up though and used the body well. United fans, didn't think he did it as cleanly as Katie Patterson says. Jesic, good ball in behind. Chance here again. Andrew turning in the area. Jesic on the follow-up. They are looking scrappy at the back, United.
Wonderful block there from Vlastelica. Very important intervention. It looked like Andrew was going to bury that one on the turn. Lovely work again, Marko Jesic. First to that ahead of Bilic. Marconi looking very dangerous going forward, second half.
They're just struggling at times, United, to number up defensively. I saw Vela just sniffing around the edge of the 18, unmarked. You can pay a big price for that. Again, Millgate's the target. Matters comes, punches well. Good work from the keeper.
He certainly got better in that aerial.
Oh, Yuli was clipped from Anselmi. Right in front of the nose of Katie Patterson. No card at this point.
Fair to say, I think the Marconi midfield been on top. Start of the second half. 10 minutes have elapsed. Yuli, Connor Evans, Brendan Velo, we saw him burst out for that chance a moment or so ago. United have to come to grips with it in the midfield.
Tension starting to rise here at Lilleholm Stadium. It's been good viewing. Can Marconi find their way in front? Millgate. Such a menace at the set piece yet again. Trying to find the service. May sit here for Fernandez. Manis off his line. Not dealt with. Fernandez turning in the area. Still there for Marconi. Marko Jesic. In the end, it all comes to nothing. And there's a bit of push and shove in the build-up. And Katie Patterson sees a free kick. Manis saying he was fouled. Don't know if I agree with that.
Making it very difficult at the moment, Marconi, for the Sydney United goalkeeper in defence at the moment. Just lobbing some balls into the 18-yard box, into the wind at the moment, and making United have to think about it.
Well, there's a degree of hesitation there. And we're seeing chances come as a result of that. Marconi unable to take them. How often do we see in the NPL New South Wales, FA Cup, Waratah Cup, whatever the competition, don't take your chances, you often pay a price. As that breeze gets ever stronger here at the Lilleholm Stadium. Katie Patterson's just going to talk things over. Peter Simonovsky and Roberto Speranza just saying to calm things. So take two for Sydney United 58. Been on the back foot the last few moments, but they can turn it on. And tell me the target. And they came all the way to him. Bilic getting that battle between he and Andrew rages on. And tell me, been a standout for United today. Can he make something happen? Well done in the end by Nicolau. To Melic. Handball. Go to United. So, bit of fortune.
Been really impressed by the way Connor Evans has come back into the starting 11 for Marconi. Such a long time out for him in that semi-final. Probably expecting him to get 60 minutes max. By circumstance, he had to play the full 90 and showed just what a fit player he was. First game back in the first team.
So Trefiro over it. Fair way out, but we've seen him do something here. Trefiro, not a bad effort. Seen him score from that kind of range before, but Nenad Vekic had that one scouted.
And they're making it difficult as well, hanging that one up. Vekic looking into the sun in the second period.
Sim takes it quickly. Trefiro. Key players starting to stand up with the cup on the line. Reminder too, if we are level, extra time awaits. United putting the passes together. And Sim's ball just unable to find Trefiro.
You know, when United are at their best, they start to get those midfield combinations, 1 and 2 touch football. Trefiro and Sim heavily involved. Two great technicians.
Just ticking over the hour mark here at Lily Holmes Stadium. When do you feel both coaches may look to go to the bench and perhaps try another option?
Yeah, I think certainly for Peter Tsakenis, he does have a couple of attacking options. The experienced Richie Cardozo, no stranger to Waratah Cup finals.
As Vela puts a testing ball in behind. Vlastelica does well. James Andrew again. Keeping United defence on their toes. Trefiro. Rose. Touch was heavy, worked out anyway. Sim has it. Has Bilic overlapping. Goes that way now. Into the area. Across the face. Milgate. Just got in front of Anselmi.
Yanni Nicolau had to be careful there not to dive in on Bilic, who was getting forward. Milgate doing well at the near post.
Well, as much as Andrew wants to attack, he has to do defensive work too. Bilic got involved heavily there, and it was Andrew who turns it over. Pakatis with it. Gets around Vela. Delivery, Anselmi. Bit of pull and shove in the area. Katie Patterson waves those claims away.
He's looking over to the linesman on the far side, Scott Edling, looking for some assistance there. What a battle, that physicality of Anselmi against the equally physical Milgate, and it's not a bad option from United. Milgate on a yellow card, and trying to go one-on-one, asking the question of him.
Well, I think in that instance it was probably a case of both players pulling the shirt of the other, so in the end, right decision.
I think so, right decision, good battle between those two. But Milgate does certainly have to be careful. I think they've also, Miro Vlastelic has got a couple of options. Josh McDonald certainly in an attacking sense, and Tariq Mayer has featured in the first 11 quite a lot this season in that midfield.
Pass is starting to go astray. It's been fairly intense, 62 minutes here at Lily Holmes Stadium. Perhaps fatigue setting in. They've had a heavy workload in recent weeks as well. Trefiro, nice feet. Anselmi rides the challenge well. Anselmi shooting. Oh, Vekic. Don't know if that was in the coaching manual. Thankfully for him it worked out. Keeping everyone at Lily Holmes Stadium on their toes. Nicolau. Again he finds Andrew. Again he's in behind Bilic. Such a menace this afternoon. Well done in cover though, Vlastelica. Nicolau. Support coming for Marconi. Andrew. Bilic slips. In behind. Not dealt with. Vela gets it clear. Liam Yuli on the follow-up. Jesic. Oh, Marconi at the moment. On the ropes United. Nicolau. Turned over. Again. Don't want to pull the trigger when inside of goal. to Milic. It is end-to-end stuff. Simonovski, a little quiet this second half. Can make something happen. Did score the goal for United. Gets past Speranza, free kick too.
Engrossing contest at the moment. Marconi looked so dangerous down at the other end. Adrian Vlastelica with some terrific defending, not once but twice. United then coming forward in transition, switching it out. Simonovski going one-on-one, winning the free kick. It's in a great area. Chance to use the wind as well.
And that seemed to take similar sort of position in the semi-final against St George. And Telmy bundled one home. Look for he and Simonovski around that 6-yard box. Sim goes in that direction. Vekic does enough to see it clear.
Not a bad option at all from Sim. Testing Vekic. Coming up good, the keeper though.
Still work to do though for the Stallions. Bilic goes with a long throw. Speranza. He heads it clear. Jesic getting back to help out his teammates. Villa flicks it on. Little forward to Andrew. Taken out from Bilic. He's on a yellow card. That'll be his second. And Sydney United 58 will go down to 10. There was a tackle he had to make. He did miss time it though. And he will see red. He's been the busiest player out there this afternoon. And he'll play no further part.
Talk about the pivotal battle between James Andrew and Matthew Bilic. Asking question after question of the Sydney United left back. And in the end, sitting on a yellow card. Lovely flick on there from Brandon Vella. And yes, James Andrew got a sniff there, got in front of the defender, and he had no choice. The history of red cards, we said, between these two sides, played 4 times in the past 2 seasons. It's been 2 red cards, 1 last year, 1 this year, and that history continues.
Well, it's a role reversal. We saw Marconi go down to 10 a fortnight ago. Mitchell Malia sent off in that game. This time Matthew Bilic.
To have a couple of defenders on the bench in Markovic and Luke Vlastelica. So let's see what Miro Vlastelica does.
So Yuli over the ball. Can they make an immediate opportunity out of their man advantage? Again, it's Millgate the target. Flag up for offside. Well, they certainly don't telegraph what they're doing at the set piece, but he seems to win it every time.
See what Miro Vlastelica's got up his sleeve here at the moment. He's moved Tomalic into the centre of defence, and he's moved Adrian Vlastelica out to the left side of the defence just to stabilise for now. Let's see if that's how they will continue. As I mentioned, he does have Peter Markovic and Luke Vlastelica, both defenders. So he can make that personnel change if he needs to. But for now, Adrian Vlastelica, he has played at left back already this season. Tomalic has played in the centre of defence. Both adaptable.
Here's Millgate. Jesic. Nods it to the feet of Vella. Speranza starting to overlap more this second half. Works onto the left, inside. It goes to Andrew. As much as Simonovski has been quiet, it's Speranza who has made him work overtime this second half, doing his defensive duties as well, the striker. Here's Connor Evans. It was United who really struggled to break down Marconi, the 10-man Marconi, when they met in the league a couple of weeks ago. Will Marconi have similar frustrations as United put bodies behind the ball? Nicolau, good ball into Jesic. Vella still fighting for it. Bakatis hands it to him. Yuli Finds Andrew at the far post. Well done from Vlastelica though. Everywhere you look, James Andrews generally there. Marko Jesic keeping the United defence busy as well. United have their weapons up their sleeve too. Don't discount them for a minute. It is well set up. The 2019 TAFE New South Wales Waratah Cup final. If you are just joining us, Marconi 1, Sydney United 58-1. United have gone down to 10. Matthew Bilic, second yellow.
I think the other real feature tactically from Marconi, Brandon Vella's pulled out onto the left-hand side and Marty Fernandez has dropped into the number 10 role behind Jesic, and you're starting to see Vella get more and more influence down that left-hand side. So I think that's been a good adjustment from Peter Tsakenis.
Well, Vlastelica has invited Andrew in, and it doesn't sit for him. Manus did enough. Well, James Andrew, the chances are mounting. Bit of misfortune that time. They just can't handle the pace of James Andrew. Vlastelica got off the hook then.
Excellent read from Tom Manos. He's spoken in the build-up to this game about his increasing desire for consistency, making the right decisions, not being too rash. And so far he's been spot on.
Here's Andrew again. Afforded plenty of time on the ball. They need to get tighter on him. Nicolau. Evans. Queuing up on the edge of the area. Driving forward is Evans. Yuli thought about the shot. Speranza. You can see the confidence Marconi are playing with the man advantage. Tiring out United. It's Milgate. Poor ball from the defender. Vlastelica, great long ball. Finds Simonovski in behind. He'll have to go on his own though. Doesn't have the support. Simonovski working to the right. And Telmi helps him out. And Telmi, good save from Vekic. Well, you just can't clock off here at Lily Home Stadium. They break away well. Simonovski waited for the support to come, and Patrick Antelmi forces another good save.
A game of fine margins. Milgate it was, pressing out from the back, giving the ball up, and as soon as United got it, they tried to exploit the space in behind him, and it almost paid dividends. Vekic having to produce the goods at the other end.
Well, the red card hasn't slowed this game down. It is frenetic stuff. Free kick coming to United. Still neither side have made a change.
Doesn't look like either coach is calling for a substitution just yet. Vlastelica is happy to have adjusted by moving Tomilic back into the centre of defence, and Adrian Vlastelica out on the left-hand side. It's a set-piece opportunity.
They came close last time out. Again, it will be Sim to take. And he goes in the direction of Antelmi. Comes all the way to him. And Vlastelica can't control his header. And it continues to seesaw here at Lily Home Stadium. Just when you feel Marconi is starting to get a grip, United turn things around.
And you think with one player less, set pieces are going to be really critical for Sydney United 58. Good work from Vlastelica. He's had a very good game. Beating Milgate in the air. Couldn't get his header down though.
Tomilic on the header well. Up against Andrew. Falls to Fernandez. A little bit quiet today. Evans, free kick. Just bodied Trefiro off the ball illegally.
He's kept his front four so far. Matt Sim, Trefiro, also Simonovski and Antelmi have remained on the pitch despite being reduced to 10 players. Looks like Trefiro's dropped in alongside Liam Rose in that holding role now that Tomilic has moved into centre of defence.
Fregoyanis' long ball cut out. United will have a second chance at it. You just feel the pressure starting to rise all of a sudden around Lily Home Stadium. It's where you want that experience.
So much of it on the pitch too, both sides chock full of cup finals experience.
Well done from Liam Yulee, turning out of danger. 2 players to beat as Andrew does his best to keep it in. Manos. This ball finds its way to Evans. Looking for the pass. Jesic. Andrew. Those two combining well this afternoon. Still it's Andrew with the ball at his feet. It's going to be a throw.
Good defending there, one-on-one. Again, it was Vlastelica.
We're starting to see, with United sitting deeper, Connor Evans getting a lot more time on the ball. Again, the long throw of Jesic. The asset for Marconi. Can't find Milgate this time. Not a convincing clearance. I thought it was going to sit for Fernandez. And then tell me, little rash, gives away the free kick.
Good use of the body from the youngster.
Jesic. And cross needed to be better. Not enough to trouble Tom Manos.
Very rare you see that from Marco Jesic, usually so accurate. Disappointed with the outcome of that. It's been a real outlet early in the second half, down the right-hand side. In fact, right through the game for the Stallions.
Unlike United defensively, we saw Jesic so much time to sum it up and get a cross in. Very nearly can put it on the head of a teammate. They need to tighten up at the back. It is hard work, of course. They've been worked over. Pretty frenetic pace this game.
Just wonder if Tariq Mayer may be summoned shortly by Vlastelica just to give it a bit of freshness. Try and get some legs in that midfield. Get a bit of control. At the moment, they're having to sit back.
Here's Nicolau. Trying to inject himself more. Nice use to the outside of the foot. Andrew has possession. Has he got a teammate in the middle? Jesic was on the scene. They continue to live dangerously.
Cool as you like there, Fragigianis.
Been camped in United defensive area. Milgate bobbing around the area. Fernandez came up with it. Had to snatch at it. Couldn't quite make connection. We're inside the final 15 minutes of normal time. The 2019 TAFE New South Wales Waratah Cup final. It is set up for a blockbuster finish. Marconi 1, Sydney United 58-1. Sim does well to win it back, but Yulee ends up with it. Is he going to try it from this kind of range? Liam Yulee! Good connection, but always going wide.
That space starting to open up for all of the Marconi midfielders. We're seeing Evans and Yulee in particular really in control of this game. More and more defensive work mounting for the likes of Trefiro and Liam Rose. I'm sure they'd like to be influencing at the other end, but at the moment they're having to roll up the sleeves and do the work in the holding midfield.
Well won in the air again by Milgate. Said that a few times today. Vlastelica comes off his heel, right into the path of Jesic. He can't find the run of Vela. Roberto Speranza's header, a little miscued. Forces Giorgio into some work. Does it well though. Finding Evans. Sit here for Brandon Vela. Jesic through the middle. Andrew there too. Jesic turning, sets it up nicely here. Chance for Marconi. Manos forced to save again. Vela it was, forcing the save.
Yeah, he's been a real influence in the second half. Brandon Vela, last year's Player of the Year for Marconi. It's been moved onto the left side of the attack, swapping with Marty Fernandez. And you've seen that trigger some attacks down the left-hand side. And he's causing Yanni Pakaris a few headaches down that side.
Another corner for the Stallions. Done the job defensively from the set piece, United. Comes all the way. Cries of handball, they're given a penalty. Well, it was Tomelic and Vlastelica on the scene. Vlastelica asking the question. Katie Patterson was well placed, and she points to the spot to hand Marconi a penalty.
Whipped it into a dangerous area there, causing a bit of havoc. We've seen that already in the second half. Sydney United getting themselves in a bit of a mess there.
Well, will it be Marko Jesic to step up and take? What a moment this is. Jesic will take on the responsibility. Manis has made some good saves today. United fans will be praying he can make another. They've had their backs against the wall since going down to 10. Huge chance for Marconi to press home the advantage here. It was a brilliant header from Jesic that brought the sides level. Silence around Lily Home Stadium. Jesic v Manos. Marko Jesic from the spot, he scores! Cool from the captain. Second of the day for Marko Jesic. And the game turns again, this time in the favour of Marconi.
He's certainly talked it up in the build-up to this game, and he's delivered. Scored a penalty in the semi-final, and he's put one away here at an important time, entering the last 10 minutes of this. He's got 10 in the league, now 5 in the Cups competition, 15 in all competitions for Marko Jesic. The captain delivers for the Stallions.
Well, now it's United's turn to go on the attack. Still Vlastelica asked the question of Katie Patterson. Marconi, though, have the lead. They get a result for all their pressure. We know how quickly things can turn, though. United, Vlastelica in behind. Can he find a teammate in the middle? Oh, teasing ball in, now tell me. Was there on the far post too.
Yeah, lovely move forward there from Vlastelica. Feeling a sense of injustice at that penalty award. But he's trying to make up for it at the other end. No one quite on the end of it.
Burkatis finds Trefiro. And United are going to make a change. So too Marconi. It's going to be Yanni Burkatis to make way for Sydney United 58. For a more attacking option in Tarek Meyer.
Wonder if they'll go to a back three here, Sydney United.
Burkatis was on a yellow card as well, so that may have influenced things as well. And Martin Fernandez, he's going to play no further part. And Sean O'Connell to come on, who will add a little bit of steel to centre of the park perhaps.
Club captain O'Connell, very experienced player. Certainly a defensive midfielder on for an attacking centre mid. Been a terrific Cups run from the youngster Marty Fernandez. No goal for him today, but a big part in getting Marconi here.
Giorgio Speranza.
Number 11, Yanni Burkatis. Replacement number 15, Tarek Meyer.
Can only hand it back to United. Matt Sim with it.
Stallions coming off. Number 28, Martin Fernandez. Replacement number 7, Sean O'Connell.
Can the fresh legs of Meyer open things up for United? They have 7 minutes of normal time to find an equaliser. Perhaps more. Simonovski. It's it run. Vlastelica can't reel it in though.
The wind not helping him there. See what Simonovski was trying to do. Good idea.
As much as Andrew's been such a threat all day down that flank. Conversely, United have had their chances down that side too. Nicolau and Andrew don't want to get caught too far forward. Fatigue setting in, pressure as well, often leads to mistakes. Who can capitalise? Take home the TAFE New South Wales Waratah Cup. O'Connell, first touch. Flag up on Andrew though.
Mentioned the edge that Marconi have had over Sydney United last couple of seasons. At the moment it looks like that will continue. United have gone to a back three, trying to adjust this. Fragigiana split and Vlastelica split by Tomalic.
Here's Vlastelica. Too much heat on that pass from Tomalic. I mentioned what's at stake for United. Chance to go to 7 Waratah Cup triumphs. Join Hakoah Sydney City East. All-time leaders with 7. Marconi just the 1 triumph in 2010. Needed penalties that day to overcome Spirit FC.
At this venue, in fact, before it went synthetic. Great footage on our NPL New South Wales socials throughout the week. Reliving those glory days for Marconi. And so United have had some great success in this competition. 2015, 2016.
Flick on from Mantelmi. Almost came to Matt Sim. Skewed clearance from Vekic. It's United. Desperate for goals. Plenty of time to find one. Mantelmi. Up against 2 defenders. Cross comes in. Good looking ball. Matt Sim is there. Won the header. Couldn't direct it on target.
Yeah, it was lovely work down the left-hand side from Antelmi. Probably the player that went closest, hit the post early in the second half. Delivered a pinpoint cross there, went to work on the left-hand side. Sim under pressure in the end from Giorgio Speranza. Just doing enough. 2 very experienced players. Sim couldn't get his header on target. Chance goes begging.
Well, it's a great chance. And you've got to ask, how many of those will they get delivered in the next 4 minutes? It has been action-packed from the opening whistle. Is there more to come? Andrew, once again, just his presence. Unsettling United. Tomalic went without it. Fortunately, they didn't pay the price.
Stays like this, mine starts ticking towards man of the match honours. I think obviously Marko Jesic has the 2 goals and he's been very good. James Andrews probably been the key player in attack for Marconi. Such a threat, causing headaches right throughout.
Well, Marko Jesic, did he handle the ball there? Well, they're given a free kick right on the edge of the area. Lawson put the flag up.
Yeah, June Park right on the spot there. Looked like Manos handled the ball, hit forward into the wind, and Manos perhaps misjudging that slightly, coming out of his box to handle.
I thought initially Marko Jesic actually touched the ball at the end, and I thought that's what the flag was for, but June Park right on the spot. And he's going to get a card, Tom Manos. And it has given a chance to Marconi to bury this one.
I think Marconi have played extremely well into the wind in the second period. They've really hung a few balls in behind the United defence, asked some questions of the goalkeeper and the central defenders, and you can see the issues and the challenges mounting up in this second period, and they've won a free kick here. Chance to seal it.
Well, Marko Jesic over the ball. Connor Evans too. Can they put an exclamation point on this one? Clock continues to tick. Manos goes with a 4-man walk. Evans and Jesic on the scene. Going to be Jesic to take. Straight into the body of Lastalitsa. And we are going to get a change from Sydney United. Matt Sim to make way. Josh McDonald.
Substitution for Sydney United 58 FC, coming off number 8, Matthew Sid. Replaced by number 19, Joshua McDonald.
Not much time here for McDonald, but he does provide the fresh legs and the speed. A wide attacking player. So he come back into the NPL scene after a stint in the A-League at Central Coast Mariners. Didn't get much game time there.
Nice work from Tarek Meyer. McDonald's first touch. Finds the feet of Rose. Was he fouled? He was. Final minute of normal time. Tense stuff all of a sudden at Lily Holmes Stadium.
Two substitutes involved there. Mayer out to McDonald. They need something here.
United desperate for an equaliser. They've left it late in recent weeks. Can they find it? Antelmi, the target. Vlastalitsa, it was Antelmi that wins it. Not enough to trouble Nenad Vekic. All eyes go to the fourth official. 90 minutes is up. 4 minutes of time added on.
The fourth official has indicated there'll be a minimum of 4 minutes. Time added on, 4 minutes.
Sydney United, they have come from behind. Well, certainly scored some late goals on this Cups run. Talk about that extra time victory against the Northern Tigers in round 7 of the FFA Cup New South Wales qualifiers. And then a late winner, Simonowski, against St George FC. So they have had a history of late goals. They need one here.
In the final 2 minutes, they found the winner to book their place in the final against St George. They need to find something here. It's Marconi on the attack though with Marko Jesic. Go straight to the corner flag. He's clipped. Card coming. Yellow.
Frustration there for Georgiana, lashing out in front of the Sydney United fans. Marko Jesic milking it here. Terrific performance from him. As I said, he talked the talk in the build-up. He's been able to back it up on the field. He's happy to eat the seconds away. Great use of the body.
No doubt frustration boiling over there for Fragoyanis, but what it has done is allow Marconi just to eke out a few more seconds. It doesn't really help the cause. Marconi go right back to where they were. Jesic, Vela with it now. Queuing up is Andrew. Jesic overlapping it. In fact, it was Yuli. O'Connell now. Evans needed to win that challenge on Liam Rose. Had his shirt pulled as well. Playing advantage. United start to get desperate. James Andrew. Done everything but find the back of the net today. O'Connell. Evans. Andrew. Vlastalitsa. Well on by O'Connell. Has to concede the throw though. Fastly running out of time. Sydney United 58. Simonovski. Finds Antelmi. Tarek Meyer. Important touch from Nicolau. Rode the challenge well too. Andrew. Tries to find the run of his defender. It may work out anyway. Jesic. Vlastalitsa. Saw him strike out there of Jesic. Needs to be careful. There's a bit of afters too between Jesic and Vlastalitsa off the ball. Got to remember they've got a league season to finish. Don't want to do anything stupid. It's there for United though. Free kick. Lee Mully it was. So the door slightly ajar.
Katie Patterson having to keep an eye on spot fires across the field. Going on in the back play. Vlastalitsa and Jesic, as you said, Adam. So be careful not to do anything silly. The referee spotting a foul in transition. And what an opportunity this is. Perhaps the last for United.
It'll be Glenn Trefiro over it. He's done some spectacular things in his time in this competition. Takes something special from this kind of range. Perhaps their last chance to rescue things. Trafiro to take for United. Goes to goal. It was flicked on by Anselmi.
Can you believe that?
Marconi survive. They're breaking away too. 3-on-1 at the back. James Andrew has support. Julian Vella there. Andrew going on his own. Off the post. Still there for Marconi. Off the line from United. And James Andrew. I don't know what he's done to upset the goal scoring gods, but it doesn't matter. Marconi have won their second Waratah Cup, the 2019 TAFE New South Wales Waratah Cup champions, the Marconi Stallions. And the man they have to thank, their captain, Marko Jesic, a double in the cup final. But what a game we've seen. Credit to both sides. Marconi will celebrate, but Sydney United 58 can certainly hold their heads high as well.
And how that chance at the end. Trafiro whipping it into a dangerous area. Nenad Vekic into the sun, having to come up with a save with the left foot. A critical moment in the game. We saw so many critical moments. I think Marconi in the end, the start of the second half extremely well. Really troubled Sydney United, particularly down the right-hand side through James Andrew. His battle with Bilic was one that captured the imagination right throughout the contest, and in the end that was a key moment. Bilic getting sent off, Marconi, that allowed them to control the second half. They got the go-ahead goal from a penalty, and in the end had to do the defending. A great save from Vekic.
Man of the match.
Look, I think Jesic, obviously with his 2 goals, he's a very influential player, but for me James Andrew was the man that caused the most headaches in that game. Thought Anselmi did very well for Sydney United. A headache throughout for Marconi. But terrific performance, James Andrew. We'll see who it's announced. I think it's between him and Jesic for sure.
Well, thankfully we don't have to make that decision. The presentation will be in a few moments, just setting up down there here at Lily Holmes Stadium. But great to see a great crowd come out this afternoon. See a fine performance from both sides, and just whets the appetite for potentially what's to come in future weeks with the finals on our doorstep. But Marconi, Waratah Cup champions, their second triumph, first since 2010. We're going to have a break momentarily here. Myself and Tony Tanous in commentary. We're going to take you down to ground level. Stream will break for a few moments. We'll pick it up again for all the celebrations as Marconi are crowned TAFE New South Wales Waratah Cup champions.
degrees, training and full-time education. Also, thank you to the official ball sponsor of the TAFE New South Wales Waratah Cup night, to all the supporters. Thank you for your attendance today. We've certainly treated this as superb football. Now on with the presentation. First of all, we'd like to introduce the referees for their part in today's game. Is Football New South Wales CH Stuart Hodge to present the medals. We can firstly call upon today's referee, Katie Patterson. Along with their assistant referees, Scott Edley and John Park. Last but not least, today the fourth official, Stephen Lucas. Well done to all officials. Once again, put your hands together for today's officials. Now to the man of the match. So many fantastic players have taken out this honour throughout the years as being one of the most historic cup competitions run across Australia. With the assistance of our very own Football New South Wales journalists, the winner of the 2019 man of the match for the cup is from the Marconi Stallions, their captain, Marco Jesic.
Well, there you have it, Marconi, the 2019 TAFE New South Wales champions. They will celebrate long and hard into the night. Full time here at Lily Holmes Stadium. Thanks for your company throughout the afternoon. It's been a fantastic final and just sets the appetite for what's to come in future weeks in the NPL New South Wales. I'm Adam Santarossa. Thanks again for joining us today alongside Tony Tanous and everyone here at Football New South Wales. We'll see you next time.